biology first. I know, it's better at the beginning Chinese and math are easy. Those are my last two classes too.
All right, now quiet down, kids, quiet down. We got some presentations today for y'all. We got 3 great presentations today. We're gonna have a great old time, all right? And you better respect your elders this time, okay? Okay? Don't call them any bad names. Don't call them any slurs like you did last week, okay? All right, I got bingo at 3, so let's get this rolling.
It's a psychobilly freakout!
I think first up we got Cordell talking about some kind of stars or some bullshit.
That's right, everyone. It's time to get welcomed into the little corner of the junk house where Cordell cut a hole in the ceiling and called it a skylight. And he got out a paper towel roll and called it a telescope. And he's been looking at the sky. He's been staring at that night sky. And you know what he's come back with? He has come back with a new set of astrological constellation choices. That's right. I looked and I gazed long and hard up into that dark, dark void we call space. And I saw constellations that already exist. None of them are new, but I'm going to tell you what they mean. I'm going to tell you, like we've got the, you got Cancer, Taurus, Pisces. They're all overrated. I've got the real good hookups, okay? But first, I want to tell you a little about me. Like always goofing around, having a good time, but you don't know anything about me, people, so might as well tell you a little bit. I do theater professionally, usually carpentry. Sometimes I act, do all sorts of stuff, but I'm technician by trade. I love Magic the Gathering. I watch a lot of movies and television, and I'm realizing that I'm kind of boring. That's okay, though. That's okay. I'm just going to keep going. I am going to tell you about my new astrology signs. The first one is for Andromeda. Andromeda is a nice constellation that doesn't have a great shape, to be honest. Yeah, I think it's supposed to be, wow. Looking at it, I don't even know what shape they want it to be. The Chained Woman? I don't like it. What are the features? Okay. I guess she's just stuck. Yeah. If you're in the constellation Andromeda, there's a 70% chance you're a robot. I don't make that rule. It's just Andromeda's a good robot name. So if you're born under the star sign of Andromeda, probably a robot. Your horoscope for this week is pretty good, provided you get charged up first and don't have that overheating issue like early iPhones did. It's gonna be a scorcher out there, Andromedas. So remember to pack your robot sunscreen if you're a robot, and your normal sunscreen if not. And go plug yourself into a wall somewhere. That's for humans and robots alike. The next star sign I found, and my astrology symbols for every letter. Every letter that has a constellation also gets an astrology sign chosen by me because I stared at the stars. So buckle up for 25 more, suckers. If you were born under the star sign Boots, which is a real constellation apparently, you really, really love oxen and cows. Because this one's about driving like cattle and yokes. That's how astrology works, right? Like, if you were born under Taurus, are you supposed to be bullheaded? I haven't actually researched any of it, people. But all that to say, you get into Boots. No, you're not actually dealing with cows. for the sign of boots, you are made for walking. And that's just what you'll do. Except for your horoscope this week, it says you should probably ride a bike if possible, because you'll get a good breeze in the heat. And also because don't wear boots when it's this hot, maybe. Your feet will sweat too bad and they'll be stinky. Moving on, this is the brand new constellation, brand new star sign, Cancer. Not like the other one, this is the new Cancer. And for this one, there's an 80% chance that you like Panic at the Disco. And there's a 20% chance that you are thinking of a giant crab joke right now. And it's not funny. It's not. I tried to find a way to make it work. It just ain't funny, people. So, horoscope this week for Cancers, but not old Cancers, new Cancers. You're supposed to go and convince an old Cancer to change over to the new Cancer star system. This was an oversight on the constellation board. All the astrologers in the world, big ol' mix-up. I was supposed to get Cancer. They weren't. The stars, not the horrible, debilitating thing. I was supposed to get it, not them. So you need to go right in, Cancers, okay? New Cancers, right into the astrology board. Get it changed, because I need that back. This is proprietary astrology. Thank you very much. Moving on. Also, there's a lot of sea constellations, so they could pick another one easily. Oh, you know what? I should tell you the dates for all these. If you're in Andromeda, that is easy. January 1st through January 12th. That makes my sister in Andromeda. I picked those dates because I feel like robots are always on time because of their internal clock. If you're in the constellation Boots, and that's your star sign, then you should probably have been born around March 16th through I don't know, May 16th. Yeah, you get 2 months to be a Boots. And then Cancer, whatever the other ones did for Cancer, they got it right. They just took it from me, so they got to change it. Moving on, if you were born under the star sign Draco, yeah, more than likely you like Harry Potter a lot, and you're a big old nerd for it. Your horoscope for this week says to quit watching those ABC Family reruns of Harry Potter and pick a new hobby. It's kind of old at this point, people. If you're a Draco, then you were born on whatever day Harry Potter was born, because, how hard is that? So, whatever that day is, that's what makes you a Draco, because you're a big old nerd. Even you're born, when you were getting birthed, you planned it so that you could match up with Harry Potter, because you were that big of a nerd from the fates. The fates decided that for you. If you were born under the star sign Aquarius, you're a horse girl. Sorry. Don't make up the rules. Big ol' horse girl. No matter who you are, horse girl. You think about brushing their hair. You think about brushing the hair on their tails. You think about those satisfying hoof videos where they scrape off all the excess hoof and then reshoe them. Those have been popping up on my Facebook feed a lot. And that is because Aquarius, that date is actually all of May. You're born in May, you're an Aquarius, which makes me a horse girl too, so solidarity, you know? I didn't know until today, but now I'm gonna get that poster. If you are an Aquarius, your horoscope for this week is that you will not see a horse. Quit looking. They're not around. They're not near you. They're all on vacation. Leave them alone. If you were born under the star sign of Fornax, you are outgoing, kind, caring, and very, very into anal. Again, sorry, I don't make it up. Fornax. The dates for Fornax, February 14th only. Your Valentine's Day, baby, you're a Fornax. And your horoscope for this week, Fornax, is So there you have it. That is the horoscope for Fornaxes. If you were born under the star sign of Goose, there is a 97% chance of rain. Thank you, Goose. For those of you born under the star sign of Hydra, MCU nerd, sorry, you don't actually like the comics though, because you think Hydra was done better in the movies than in the comics. But yeah, you really just spend all your time thinking about things that if you cut them off, they grow 2 of them. There's not a lot of those things, so you think about Hydras a lot. The date for Hydra is actually April 4th through August 8th. And that's because both of those are like perfect doubles of 2, and then 8 is double of 4, like you were cutting off a Hydra head. So anywhere in there, you could be a Hydra. And your horoscope for this week is cut off your head. Try it. You never know if you might have been one all along. If you were born under the star sign of Indus, then you're really big into rivers. You could probably hand draw a map of every river on the planet. And you were born, I haven't picked on November in a while. You were born in November, any old day except the 3rd. Not November 3rd, that's taken. So any day in November except the 3rd, you are an Indus. And congratulations, your horoscope for this week is sometimes you gotta be like a river and flow around your obstacles. And if there's a big enough earthquake, go backwards. We're getting through the alphabet, folks. There are no constellations for J and K. So just kidding. Ha 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 ha. If you are born under the star sign of Leo Minor, it's the same dates as Leo, except you're under 18. And plot twist, no matter how old you get, you're always legally and spiritually under 18. You can never be legal. Sorry. Your horoscope this week, Leo Minors, is, yeah, go ahead and get the foot ladder. I know you're that short, and it's okay. You're just a little kid. You're just a little baby. No matter how long you've been out there, you're a little baby, Leo Minor. Go ahead and get the step ladder. If you were born under the star sign Microscopium, you're just so small. You are like beyond step ladder small. I can't even see you. I can't. And you were born literally during the exact second that the new year starts. You're the tiniest little baby. You're a little newborn baby for New Year's. You never grew. You're a microscopic creature. You're so small. Your horoscope for this week is don't get stepped on. If you were born under the star sign Norma, don't buy a motel. Don't do it. Never do it. It will end poorly for all involved. And for the star sign Norma, that is anyone born on any day where they happen to be named Norma. If you were born under the star sign of Orion, you gotta wear a belt. There's just no choice around it. You put on a belt when you wake up. You take it off when you go to bed. There's an 8% chance you're an archer, but that is kind of a dying art form, so I don't expect you to be one of those. But you were born on August 8th, which does share a date with Hydra, but you'll know if you're an Orion. It's the belts. Your horoscope for this week, Orions. Shoot your shot. You never know when you'll hit someone with the target. And they were the target all along, and the friends you made along the way. If you were born under the star sign of Phoenix, you are literally immortal. You cannot escape. You will always be reborn the next time the Phoenix constellation rises. As will you. Forever and always. Amen. There's no Q constellation But if you were born under reticulum, there is 100% chance you just chuckled because you thought it sounded a little bit like rectum. And that one's actually Christmas. If you're born on Christmas Day and you're a reticulum, and you think the word rectum is a really funny word. If you were born under the constellation Serpens, then you also really like Harry Potter, but only the second one where they have that big snake. You're also a big fan of the movie Anaconda, and a big fan of Lake Placid, but that's only because you went in thinking it was about snakes, and then when it was about that crocodile, you said, it's still a pretty good one. You were born on the day of September 7th, because that was the day with the most S's I could think of. So yeah, have fun out there, Serpenses. You're a snake. Your horoscope is also that you're just a dirty, dirty lion snake. And get better. If you were born under the star sign Triangulum, you are such a square. You even know about geometry in your born day when you were born. Idiot. Are you stupid? But no, you're not stupid because you're that smart. Triangulums were born any day of the year. If you wear glasses, you're a triangulum. And your horoscope this week, triangulums, remember, isosceles is the one where they're all where there's a right angle. No. You know which one. You know the triangle rules. Just remember them. They'll be important. If you were born under the star constellation sign of Ursa Major, then you're the main character, actually. Yeah. Only people born on February 29th, like during the leap year, you're the main character of life. The rest of us, we're just your NPCs. I hope you're listening, because I just wait around for you to hear. I'm just idle animation until then. Please release me from my suffering. Your horoscope this week, for any of you Ursa Majors, the big bad is coming. They are gathering their armies. They will ride. You are running out of time. The dark night of the soul is coming for you. You must find the key. Folks and people of all kinds, we have come to the very last star sign of my new star sign company that sells these. This last one is Vulpecula. And if you were born under the constellation of Vulpecula, which is March 12th. If you were born on March 12th, you're a Vulpecula. You're a big Pokemon fan. And you, Vulpix is your favorite, obviously. But you also love Bram Stoker's Dracula. And you draw little pictures of Vulpecula, which is Vulpix that is also Dracula. And your horoscope for this week is get a new thing. That's a really weird combination. Why is that what you fixated on? How strange of you. And there you have it, folks. We made it through all of my constellations. I'm sure it was riveting. Thank you for listening. And thank you for realsies for listening to the show in general. It is a big joy to have you guys. Everyone, I'm Cordell, like I said earlier.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Cordell. That was a great presentation. All right, looks like next up we got Miss Samantha. For today's presentation, class, it took a while for me to decide what I wanted to talk about. I thought I could write a little story, it would be a little fun. Or I could, make another song. But I decided to go with I saw this on Reddit, and now you have to hear it. we will be reading a post from Best of Redditor Updates. Now, I know about this subreddit from a YouTuber named Stans. Shout out One Night Stans, God tier gamer. And what this subreddit is all about is it takes a bunch of posts from a bunch of different subreddits that either, need updating or have been updated, people have come back to. And it shows the original posts, shows the updated posts, gives links, gives all that. So today we will be reading an inconclusive, so it's not a finished update. But I read the title of this, I read a little bit of it, and it was enough that I was like, okay, cool, we're going to talk about this. So the title of this is OOPs, which is original OP. So OP is original poster. So this is just saying the original poster of this, the first person that posted this. The OOP's undying love for a Franz Kafka character is unreal. This post was originally on Today I Fucked Up, r/TIFU, and the original title was Today I Fucked Up by admitting to my girlfriend that I pretend she is a giant cockroach when we have sex. This was posted 7 years ago. Today I fucked up by admitting to my girlfriend that I pretend she is a giant cockroach when we have sex. Ever since I was a teenager, I have had very intense fantasies about having sex with a giant cockroach. It started in 9th or 10th grade when we read The Metamorphosis by Franz Kafka. As I started to think more and more about the roach creature that the creature had become, I started to imagine what it would be like if a woman turned into the roach instead. I found this idea very arousing. I would not be repulsed or frightened of her, as the characters in the story are. I would take care of her. Then my thoughts started to get sexual with the character. Eventually, I sort of dropped the bit about her having been a human first, and I kind of imagined this fictionalized roach species. They are giant roaches the size of a person and have complete intelligence. I kind of over time conjured up an imaginary friend of sorts. She was one of these roaches, and her name was Ogtha. I would fantasize about her often. Whenever I masturbated, I would be imagining elaborate scenarios of me and Ogtha making love. I think that's as far as I read, so now we're getting into unmarked territory for the both of us. When I started to have actual sex, I found I could not perform if I wasn't thinking of Ogtha. So basically now, anytime I have sex with a woman, I am pretending she is actually Ogtha. Not just think about Ogtha, I concentrate intently to visualize that I am actually doing Ogtha. Wow. I don't want to think about the girl at all. There is only Ogtha. Of course, this sex can never be as exciting as my fully imaginary sessions with Ogtha. There are things that her multiple appendages and antennae allow for that a human woman can never match. Okay, so anyways, I've been in a relationship with my girlfriend for about a year. Three or four times I've tried to have sex with her and not pretend she is Ogtha, but I just can't do it. So essentially, every time we have sex, I'm imagining that she is Ogtha. I finally confided this to her the other day, and I was blown away by her reaction. I thought she might take it a bit badly at first, but that she'd get used to it. No, I have never seen such a look of disgust before. Outraged is not an understatement. She is not even returning my texts now. I'm afraid she is actually going to break up with me, and also that I'm going to tell people about Ogtha. I don't know how I will face anyone. This is going to sound silly, but I also feel guilty about feeling shame, as if Ogtha will be saddened by this, even though I, quote, no, end quote, she is imaginary. I just don't know what to do at this point. So that was all of the first post. There's an edit that's just talking about the guy. Somebody like read this on YouTube, and the guy was thanking him. But there is more. There is another post that this one happened 2 years ago. So the first one was 7. This is 2 years. This is 5 years after the first post. They also posted it on Today I Fucked Up, and this one's title was Today I Fucked Up by admitting to my coworkers that my wife, Agtha, is an, quote, imaginary, end quote, giant roach. An update of sorts to my prior Today I Fucked Up from 5 years ago. Hello. 5 years ago, I submitted the story of me telling my then girlfriend that when we made love, I was envisioning her as a giant roach. The gist of the backstory is that ever since I was a teenager, yada yada, we know about this already. I'll skip ahead. You might think of the scene in Blade Runner, which my original TIFU predates, by the way, where the main character makes love to a prostitute, but his hologram girlfriend kind of holograms over the body of the actual person, so he can, quote, pretend he is making love to his hologram. That is what it was like with me and Agtha, but instead of a hologram, it was just my imagination. In the 5 years that have passed since the topic was posted, I decided to stop fooling myself, and I just committed to the love of Agtha. Oh no, I know she is not, quote, real, end quote, per se, but in my head, she is an actual personality, and I am in love with that personality. I don't care if she's a roach or if she is imaginary. The love is real. Call me deluded, but it's harmless. It makes me happy. I have not had a real girlfriend again since that incident 5 years ago, but occasionally I have had one-night stands via online apps with the understanding of it being one night in advance. And on these times, I always envision the woman is Agtha, my sensual roach queen. Wow, I don't think I've ever heard that phrase or ever will ever again. Now, I mean no offense to the women, of course, and even a gentleman once or twice. The many appendages of Agtha make translation to human gender almost irrelevant. I just envision they are Agtha. And no, haha, I never confided to them about it. I learned my lesson. The thing about it, though, is that I became so in love with my Agtha that I, quote, married, end quote, her. I even did a little ceremony in my living room. I recited my own vows, she recited hers, and I even went on a honeymoon, which technically you could say was a solo vacation to New Orleans for a week. But in my mind, Agtha was with me the entire time. In my mind, she is my wife. Now, here's where I fucked up. I got so used to thinking of her as my wife in my head that a few months ago at work, I nonchalantly said my wife in some innocuous sentence. I think it was something like, oh yeah, me and my wife love that show, in regards to Chopped. So now everyone was asking me about my wife because they never heard I was married or even dating anyone. Everyone kept pestering me, wanting to know about her, wanting to see pictures. I became full of panic. I did the one thing I swore I would never do again. I talked to other people about Agtha in real life. We were at a team lunch and I just let it all spill out. I told them about how I became enamored as a teenager with the Franz Kafka story, how my fantasy evolved into an actual imaginary entity with a personality, and how I slowly began to grow in love with her. What started as a mere sexual attraction to giant roaches blossomed into a whirlwind romance, and that she became the love of my life, even though her existence was in my own mind. At first, they thought I was doing a creepy joke, but I convinced them I was telling the truth. Well, they were afraid and disgusted. Same, a little bit. I have been a pariah at work ever since. Everybody steers clear of me. We used to have a good social life. Now people only speak to me for work-related reasons. Even working virtually now, nobody sends me a Slack message unless it is about work. I even heard a rumor that people went to HR, but they were of course told nothing could be done. I have lost my good work friends because of this, and it is indeed jeopardizing my career because my bosses think I am insane. I have ruined my friendships and future career prospects due to my honesty. I am thinking of starting to look for a new job, although it is difficult in my current environment. I can start fresh elsewhere, though. No matter what, I will be staying with my wife, Agtha. For me, it is Agtha forever. If you must know, I do hope that even if I am an old man, that one day the technology is invented to extract the Agtha personality from my mind and implant it into a real external body, either of a genetically engineered or a mechanical nature, and me and Agtha can then experience genuine physical connection. But if she must remain within me, that is fine. Her love keeps me warm on the coolest of nights. Thank you. TLDR, I foolishly told my coworkers that my wife is an imaginary giant roach, and now they don't like me anymore, and my career is in shambles. Okay, there's one more. There's a final post. This one, again, on Today I Fucked Up. This one is titled, Today I Fucked Up by telling my parents that I am married to an imaginary giant roach. In parentheses, my beloved Agtha. A few of you may recall some years ago I posted about my lovely Agtha. You can find in my post history. My new story requires an explanation for Agtha. For those who don't know, I will try to be brief. So he talks about the fictional roach species, things we have just read. But he also, the users of r/tulpas, TULPAS, helped me realize there is nothing delusional about this, and that indeed it is very possible for such entities to come into being. I do hope that one day the technology will exist to extract blah, 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 but we are satisfied with our current relationship. I love Agtha, and she loves me. Some time ago, I married her. Now, from a strictly legal sense, no, I am not married per se. But for me and Agtha, we consider our relationship to be a marriage. I am devoted to her and her to me. I revealed this to my coworkers, and it did not go well, but I thought my parents had a right to know. Last evening, I revealed to them everything about Agtha and told them we were married. I even allowed Agtha to speak through me to them. Oh, so that she could finally meet my parents after only seeing them from far away. I knew my parents would find it unusual at first, but I thought they would come to understand and be happy for me. However, I fear they think me deranged. My mother actually cried, and not tears of happiness as I expected. They even encouraged me to seek counseling. I explained to them that what I am experiencing is real and encouraged them to read through the Tulpa Reddit. Quick venture into the Tulpa subreddit. This is Sammi, not the writer. A tulpa is a mental companion created by focused thought and recurrent interaction, similar to an imaginary friend. However, unlike them, tulpas possess their own will, thoughts, and emotions, allowing them to act independently. This is probably a good topic for another episode with everybody instead of just this presentation. But apparently this subreddit is saying that it's not like schizophrenia or DID. The experience of having tulpas is much more accurately likened to the experience of fiction writers whose characters come alive and begin talking to them. In fact, a great number of tulpa creators have formed tulpas this way. That is directly from the sidebar on the tulpas subreddit. So now let's get back into the actual story. It has created a very bad situation for me, and now I fear my relationship with my parents is quite ruined. They keep insisting I seek counseling and are threatening if I don't, they will no longer assist me with my student loans and I will not be welcome at Thanksgiving. I feel they are overreacting, but at the same time, I wish I had just kept my marriage a secret. I do consider it now to be a fuck up to have been truthful with my parents. They are in some ways traditionalists and are simply not ready to understand how entities can exist without physical form and share a mind. It breaks my heart, but I wish I had been deceitful with my family. For the record, I will never divorce Agtha, and with our love, I know I can survive anything. But I wish I had never been truthful with my parents. TLDR, I told my parents about Agtha, my imaginary roach wife, and they are very upset about it indeed. Well, that was much more of an adventure than I initially thought when I saw this post. I appreciate you coming to my presentation. I hope you aren't too scarred. I hope you got a little chuckle, a little cringe of weirdness out of all of that. And thank you. I hope I get a good grade on this presentation. Okay, thanks. Okay, I don't know what the fuck that was. Why did you even... Okay, let's just move on. I hope the next one's good. Caleb? I think it's Caleb's turn.
Hi. For my presentation this week, which is an interesting thing, I will be doing a lyrical analysis of WAP, W-A-P, by one Miss Cardigan Backyardigan. If you're not familiar with this work, it was released in the year of our Lord 2020. Nothing else happened that year. So let's dive right in because there's a lot of in-depth lyrics, and if I need to make up more time, then I've got another little treat for you guys. The more lyrical analysis, but it's a little treat for you guys. So right from the top, the first stanza of this song, we have this repeating refrain of whores in this house. There's some whores in this house. There's some whores in this house. There's some whores in this house. So they really want you to know that in this fictional house that Miss Backyardigan is putting together, there are whores. Now, if you're not familiar with the term whore, it usually refers to someone who is of a promiscuous nature, someone who is known to be given out the sex quite often. So it's interesting that they're trying to establish this very sexual thing right out of the gate, and it's repeated, so they want you to know it's important. Now, from them establishing that this is a song of sexual nature, we have the lyric, I said certified freak, 7 days a week, wet ass pussy, make that pull out game weak, woo. Now, I am interested in this because what kind of freak are we talking about? And what is the certification that Miss Backyardigan went through to obtain this freak status 7 days out of the week? There is no break for this freak. And is this freak related to the whorish nature that is referred to in the earlier lines? Now, wet ass pussy. Yeah, I think that Mr. Benjamin Shabino does have something to say. Thinks it's a medical condition. I don't know. So if that is a medical condition, you can always message us and tell us about how this could be. Make that pull out game weak. I assume this is a reference to pulling out the phallus so that you do not orgasm inside of a woman. And so pull-out game week, you want the pull-out game to be quite strong. So making the pull-out game weak may not be in her best interest, if you know what I mean, or else she may end up pregnant. And we're in a post-Roe world, so that is a dangerous proposition, Miss Backyardigan. Oh, goodness gracious. Yeah. That's the next 4 lyrics. It's just, yeah, and then you fucking with some wet-ass pussy. She is yet again referring to this. Bring a bucket and a mop for this wet-ass pussy, implying that this will be a messy endeavor that will need to have extra attention to the cleaning afterwards. Cleaning is very important, especially post-sex. There is always going to be a mess. And apparently this will be such a mess that a simple shower and a change of the sheets won't do it. No, there must be a bucket and a mop for this wet-ass pussy. Give me everything you got for this wet-ass pussy. Now, this is an interesting thing because to give everything you've got for this, it must be very valuable. I have a lot of things. I have a lot of magic cards and other things. I have a new grill, and I don't know if I would give that up just for wet ass pussy. And you know, this is implying that this is some high value stuff. Because so far we have implied that it makes a big mess. That's a knockback to me. If it's a big enough mess that you need a bucket and a mop, we may be getting into urination play. Is that what this song is about? I'm going to have to get through the rest of the lyrics before I make any determination on that kind of thing. But so far we know that it is very messy endeavor, and we know that it requires everything you have. That is a lot of stuff. I wonder if we are getting into a kind of financial domination standpoint. Is that what we're talking about? Miss Cardigan Backyardigan, please explain. Beat it up. I'm not saying the next word. Catch a charge. Okay, so beat it up. I assume we're supposed to be rough with this thing. The next word, I'm not going to say the word. If you know the song, you know it is sung by two black performing artists. So they're using a word that I refuse to use because I am white. And it's not okay for me to use that word. Catch a charge. Now, this could go one of two ways. This could go many ways, actually. Catch a charge. Is this a charge as in arrest? A crime? Are we committing a crime for this wet-ass pussy? Or is this charge as in what I was referring to earlier with financial domination? Is this them saying charge your credit card for this wet-ass pussy? I think there are questions that we need answers to that Miss Backyardigan is not giving us. And I need these answers now. Extra large and extra hard. Now, this is interesting. Extra large and extra hard. These are usually things that we use to describe a phallus. Now, are we describing the phallus required to enter this wet-ass pussy? Or are we talking about the wet-ass pussy itself, in which I'm not sure that hard is the adjective that I would want to use? Now, I may be wrong about this. There may be some people that love a hard vagina or a hard pussy, as the song is calling it. But I am not sure that that is something that is desirable. Put this pussy right in your face, swipe your nose like a credit card. We are now referring to cunnilingus. We are now referring to that. Hop on top, I want to ride. Okay, so she is going to hop on top and ride. I do a Kegel while it's inside. Interesting. A Kegel is a good thing to do if you want a strong pelvic floor. So doing a Kegel while something is inside of you would be a good idea, I guess. I guess that would be pleasurable for the person that is inside. Spit in my mouth, look at my eyes. Now, spit is a no-go for me. That is too much bacteria involvement. And some people have criticized my take on this and said that, well, it's no different than like making out. Their spit changed. But there's a difference between a spit exchange due to making out and a spit exchange due to someone giving effort into spitting into my mouth. That sounds very gross to me. No kink shaming if that is your thing, but I will personally pass on that. Look at my eyes. Eye contact is very important, so I'm very glad Miss Backyardigan is bringing this up. This pussy is wet. Come take a dive. Now, diving into something, there must be a lot of liquid involvement. Now it explains why we need a bucket and a mop that is referenced to earlier. It is just extremely wet. There's a lot of liquid is needed to dive. So, all right, Miss Backyardigan. We're doing good. Tie me up like I'm surprised. Let's role play. I wear a disguise. We are introducing more and more elements of different parts of sex, and sex is nothing to be ashamed of. If you are a person that enjoys dressing up for sex, that is really good. I'm very proud of you. That is a good thing, because sex is never bad unless it's like non-consensual or like breaking fundamental like rules of humanity. Then yeah, just come on, you're good. I want you to park that Big Mac truck right in this little garage. Okay. So right in this little garage. Now we know that earlier the line extra large and extra hard is indeed talking about the phallus required to be able to handle this, because Big Mac truck, those are large things. Those are very large things. They're also very hard. Right in this little garage. Okay, so they were talking about the fact that it needs to kind of break through. It needs to do this. Make it cream. Make me scream. Okay, so she wants this to be pleasurable to the point where screaming becomes a thing. Out in public, make a scene. Now we are talking about exhibitionism and voyeurism. And if you're out in public and everyone else is consenting, good. But make sure other people are giving their consent to see what you're doing. Because if you don't, that's bad and gross, and you shouldn't be doing that and involving non-consenting people into your fantasies. That's not great. I don't cook. I don't clean, but let me tell you, I got this ring. Okay. So she doesn't cook and doesn't clean. That can be okay. We're not gonna hold women to traditional gender norms, air quotes around gender norms, because gender is a construct, but also like gender is valid. So it is a very complicated subject that I am not an expert on, but she doesn't cook, she doesn't clean. You know what? I can respect that. I do cook a lot and I do clean a lot. So maybe her partner is going to be doing that and enjoys doing that. And power to them, as long as there is good communication on those expectations beforehand. I'm very happy for Miss Backyardigan that she is not cooking or cleaning when she does not have to. So let me tell you, I got this ring. So somebody is putting a ring on that finger for this wet ass pussy. And I this is news. It is new in this song that someone has put a ring on the finger, implying marriage, or at the very least engagement in some form. So that is really interesting that they're bringing that up this late in the game. But you know what? Respect. I dig it. All right. Upcoming is a stretch of lyrics that I have to say in one go. Gobble me, swallow me, drip down inside of me. Quick jump out for you, let it get inside of me. I tell him where to put it, never tell him where I'm about to be. I run down on him for I have a running me. Now, I'm not going to say the word, you know what word that is. gobble me, swallow me, drip down the side of me. We are yet again referring to cunnilingus, I guess. It's kind of, I think they more went for the beat that it is, that that is it, because that is a really cool beat to do. So I'm very happy that they're introducing some new flows, some new metrical feet, if you want to go that route. Quick jump out for you, let it get inside of me. This again this is referring to pull-out game, which earlier she said that she makes the pull-out game weak, but now she is saying, nope, get out before you ejaculate inside of me. So that's interesting that she makes it weak, but then also wants it. I'm just a little bit confused. Not bad, just fine. I tell him where to put it. I'm assuming that's referring to the ejaculate. Never tell him where I'm about to be. Interesting. Moving the target as he's trying to aim. That is very interesting. That's really good. And then the next line, I don't need to explain it, so I'm going to do it. Talk your shit, bite your lip, ask for a car bowl, you ride that dick. You ain't never gotta fuck him for a thing. He already made his mind up before he came. Boom, bam. That is so good. It's kind of referencing the fact that there is this societal thing that men are traditionally more horny, or women are not as much. I don't really give that much credence, but whatever. You know what? And they're saying, you know what? They can talk their shit. You talk your shit. You bite your lip. And you know what? Ask for stuff before you get that dick. You know what? This is financial domination to a degree. You ain't never got to fuck him for a thing. Okay. You don't have to have sex with him to get what you want, because he's already made his mind up before he came. He already knows what he's going to get you. He's not letting his horniness affect what he's going to do. That is a really interesting part of this song that I did not actually ever consider before reading these lyrics. Now get your boots and your coat for this wet ass pussy. So you are going to travel. You are going to travel because you need your boots and your coat. So that is implying that it is cold outside too. So you are traveling in the cold to get this wet ass pussy. He bought a phone just for pictures of this wet ass pussy. He bought you a phone? You know how expensive phones are these days, and he is buying you a phone? Pay my tuition just to kiss me on this wet ass pussy. Tuition is expensive. I have loans for that. Now make it rain if you want to see some wet ass pussy. This is talking about money. You want to get that pussy, you got to give the money. This is financial domination to a degree. I'm not sure if that is exactly what this song is talking about. But yeah, I think that's really interesting. Look, I need a hard hitter. I need a deep stroke. I need a Henny drink. I need a weed smoker, not a garden snake. I need a king cobra with a hook in it. Hope it lean over. I'm assuming this is all referring to, yet again, I need more stuff before I can give them this wet ass pussy. I don't need a garden snake. I'm assuming that's referring to a small penis. She needs a king cobra. I'm assuming that's referring to a large penis with a hook in it. Some penises hook, and that's okay. There is no shame in how your body is. So he got some money, then that's where I'm headed. Pussy A1, just like his credit. Ayo, he got a beard, well, I'm trying to wet it. I let him taste it, now he diabetic. I don't like that line as a type 1 diabetic. But all this is just yeah, I'm gonna fuck him. I don't want to spit. I want to gulp. I want to gag. I want to choke. I want you to touch that little dangly thing that's swinging in the back of my throat. Obviously, it is referring to she wants to gulp. She wants to gag and choke. She wants a big penis, and I'm assuming this is now referring to giving head to a man. So it's really interesting that we've now kind of switched the narrative from pleasuring the pussy to pleasuring the penis. I think that's an interesting narrative shift in this song. My head game is fire. Pusani Dasani. Punani Dasani? I messed that up. My head game is fire. Punani Dasani. I'm going in dry and it's coming out soggy. Wow. This is interesting. I ride on that thing like the cops is behind me. I spit on his mic, and now he trying to sign me. Okay, so this is like a reference to like you have sex with a producer to get further in the industry, something like that. I'm assuming. Your Honor, I'm a freak bitch. Handcuffs, leashes, switch my wig, make him feel like he's cheating, put him on his knees, give him something to believe in. Never lost a fight, but I'm looking for a beating. This is really interesting. I've never like actually looked at these lyrics before. Switch my wig, make him feel like he's cheating. Now that's interesting. I feel like most men would not like to feel like they're cheating. That's not like a good feeling. I don't think that's a good feeling. Put him on his knees, make him give him something to believe in. Yeah. Do give him something to believe in. We all need something to believe in these days. It's hard. It's hard in these streets. In the food chain, I'm the one that eats you. If he eat my ass, he's a bottom feeder. That is some interesting play. I like it. Big D stands for big demeanor. Interesting. I could make you bust before I ever meet you. That's interesting. Big D stands for big demeanor. I always assumed it was big dick, and big demeanor. So he's got a big personality. And I guess you have to have a big personality to be able to handle Miss Backyardigan or I believe it is Miss Stallion, Megan Thee. Yes, Miss Stallion. That is very interesting because they are very big personalities. You know, you see them on TikTok. You see them on the late night show with Jimmy Fallon. That's interesting. All right. Next up, we have if it don't hang, then he can't bang. You can't hurt my feelings, but I like pain. Ooh. Talking about BDSM. That's interesting. If you fuck me and ask whose is it, when I ride the dick, I'ma spell my name. Ah. Yeah, you fucking with some wet ass pussy. Bring a bucket and a mop for this wet ass pussy. Give me everything you got for this wet ass pussy. Now from the top, make it drop. That's some wet ass pussy. Now get a bucket and a mop. That's some wet ass pussy. I'm talking wop, wop, wop. That's some wet ass pussy. Macaroni in a pot. That's some wet ass pussy. Huh. Interesting. So we're talking about the macaroni in a pot. That has to be a reference to the Vine. If you guys all remember that's what good pussy sounds like. That Vine. I love that Vine. It is hysterical. I'm interested as to why they are referring to it right now with this. But yeah, overall, that is the majority of the song. It goes back to repeat the lines from the beginning of there's some whores in this house. But overall, you know what? I would say that this is actually a rather complex song in its references to sex and sexual nature. I think this is a fun song. I've listened to the song before, obviously. And it has some really good bass. And overall, you know what? I'm going to give this song on the Caleb Burley scale a solid 8 out of 10. I think it's a very good song. And you know what? We can, in the future, I may do some more lyrical analysis of songs of this nature. I hope you have a great week. You are amazing. And thank you for listening to an in-depth lyrical analysis of WAP, which I am not entirely sure is not just a song about financial domination. It's definitely about sex, but I think there is definitely some financial domination involved. Thank you for listening.
Beautiful, beautiful presentations. All right, thank you. I don't know what that fucking middle one was. That was kind of weird, but Those were some good presentations. Okay, I got some little notes I'm supposed to share with you here. If you want to follow this crazy podcast on Twitter, you can do so at Junk House. What the O in house is a 0. You can also email these lovely people at junkhousemailbox@gmail.com. Thank you so much. They wanted to say thank you to the Reverend Horton Haight for, I guess it's their theme music. I don't know. If you want to follow any of the particular peeps, you can follow Cordell at Cordelicious. You can follow Caleb at Awkward from 1997. And apparently you can't follow Samantha right now. All right. Oh, well, that was the bell. I guess get on out of here. Go home.
It's a psychobilly freak out.